So now we're doing TryHackMe Pre-Security Linux Fundamentals Part 3. So we're going to power up our Linux skills and get hands-on with some common utilities that we are likely to use day to day. All right. So we're just going to do the first 3 tasks because these first 2 are kind of nothing, honestly. So let's just start with task 1, the introduction. So welcome to part 3 and the finale of the Linux Fundamentals module. So far throughout the series, we've got hands-on with some fundamental concepts and used some important commands. This room is going to showcase some useful utilities and applications that we're likely to use day to day. We're also going to advance our Linux foo skills by learning about automation, package management, and service or application logging. All right, so let's proceed to task 2. So we're going to deploy our Linux machine. So if you haven't seen the video about how to download and install the virtual machine and Ubuntu on that, I'll leave the link in the description. But if you're following along with me on the Linux site, we're just going to start the machine like we've been doing before, and we'll come up to the taskbar, to the start attack box and just start it up like that. Because, you know, it really doesn't matter. We know this thing's going to take a good long time to start, so we'll just go on to task 3 after we say, I've logged into the Linux, blah, blah, blah. All right. So let's go to task 3, terminal text editors. So throughout this series so far, we've only stored text in files using a combination of the echo command and the pipe operators. I would call those the arrow operators because a pipe usually looks like this, shift and backspace, right? But anyway, so this isn't an efficient way to handle data when we're working with files and multiple lines and the sorts. With files with multiple lines, you get it. Anyway, introducing terminal text editors. So there are a few options that we can use, all with a variety of friendliness and utility. This task is going to introduce us to Nano, but it's also going to show us an alternative named Vim, which we're not going to use at all because it's 2025 and this is for before vibe coding existed, basically. So let's talk about Nano. So it is easy to get started with Nano. To create or edit a file using Nano, we simply use Nano with the file name, replacing file name with the name of the file we wish to edit, right? So right here, we're creating a my file, or maybe not. Anyway, whatever. So it's Nano my file, GNU Nano, and it's got this GNU Nano 4.8 or something in it. I don't know. Anyway, so once we press enter to execute the command, Nano will launch, where we can just begin to start entering or modifying our text. So we can navigate each line using the up and down arrow keys, like these right here, or like these right here. All right. Or start a new line using the enter key on our keyboard. All right. So let's see if the thing's open yet. The attack box. Is it good? Okay, cool. And let's do some stuff. So let's open up the terminal over here. Do the SSH TryHackMe and then and then we'll come down here and we'll take this, copy it to the clipboard, and we can do Control Shift V to paste. All right. Turns out if you press Control Shift V, it'll do what we need it to do. Press Enter, yes, and then TryHackMe. Okay, good. And then let's clear this stuff off just by writing clear. All right. So yeah, let's check this out. So let's do this Nano my file. All right. Nano my file. All right. So as it says, this GNU Nano 4.8 blah blah blah, and we could say hello, TryHackMe. Enter. I can write things into my file. All right, there we go. All right, and then if we want to get out of this, we can just press Control X. And do we want to save? Not really. Okay, great. Cleared out. See ya. All right. So Nano has a few features that are easy to remember and covers the most general things we would want out of a text editor, including, also, you're going to see over here, like copy text is M6. Basically what M stands for is meta key, which means the alt key. So it's just alt 6. I don't know why it says that, but alt and the number 6. Anyway, so let's keep going. So Nano has a few features, blah, blah, blah. So searching for text, copying and pasting, jumping to a line number, and finding out what number we're on, right? So we can do all that with this stuff right here, right? We can use these features of Nano by pressing the control key, which is represented as the up arrow. So this thing right here, so this means control right there, control G, control X, whatever. And a corresponding letter. For example, to exit, we would want to press control X to exit Nano. I don't know why it goes like that, why this is control and M is alt, but it is what it is. All right, so let's talk about Vim. So this is a much more advanced text editor. While we're not expected to know all advanced features, it's helpful to mention it for powering up our Linux skills. Honestly, this is pointless. Anything this complicated in the days of vibe coding is pointless. We can just get Gemini to actually write code for us. And if we got some money to put down, we could get ChatGPT 5 Pro if we got $200 a month to actually write code for us. So what's the point of this thing? Nothing. So some of Vim's benefits, albeit taking a much longer time. Yes, much longer. If you've ever seen Vim, it takes forever to learn. And that's another reason why we're not even going to bother. Other than taking much longer time to become familiar with, it includes customizable. The benefits include it's customizable. We can modify the keyboard shortcuts to be of our choosing. I mean, okay. Syntax highlighting. This is useful if we're writing or maintaining code, making it a popular choice for software developers. Pardon me. Vim also works on all terminals where Nano may not be installed. Okay. And there are a lot of resources such as cheat sheets, tutorials, and the sorts available to use. TryHackMe has a room showcasing Vim if we wish to learn more about this editor. Not really. Create a file using Nano. We already did that, so complete that. Edit task 3 located in TryHackMe's home directory using Nano. So what's the flag, right? So let's do ls on this to start with. ls, get this out of the way. All right, so we got task 3 right there. So let's do Nano task 3. All right, and look, THM text editor is right there, right? So let's do that THM bracket, whatever that is. I forgot what the name of that thing was. Text. Do we have to do, I don't remember if we had to do uppercase, but editors. Editors. And then let's submit it. And there we go. Awesome. All right. So now we're on to, actually, let's get out of this real quick. And let's set it up with a clear. And all right. So now we're on to task 4, general or useful utilities. And we'll see you next time.